Another year, another NBA Finals, and this time we have a matchup between the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. It sounds weird to say Oklahoma City versus the Indiana Pacers. I mean, going into this season, I don't think anyone had the Indiana Pacers making it to the NBA Finals unless you were a diehard Indiana Pacers fan, unless you were Reggie Miller. And I don't even think Reggie Miller had this team going to the NBA Finals, but they did something that nobody thought that they can do. And now they are here in the NBA Finals. The same thing can be said for the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that is not respected by NBA media. And it seems from the outside looking in by NBA players. They look at this team as a young team, just a good regular season team. Can they really ramp it up in the playoffs? We got to the playoffs. They faced a jawless Memphis Grizzlies team. They beat them. They faced a Denver Nuggets team that had a one-leg Aaron Gordon, one arm Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray. He wasn't healthy. We see those excuses, and then we get to the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they just absolutely demolish the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they took Anthony Edwards out the game to the point where Anthony Edwards had a 15-point game, shot bad from the field, and just said, you know what? I still play good. I did everything I was asked to do. And they just completely took him out the series. This team is a team to be reckoned with, to be honest. But before we got to this moment, nobody really trusted this team. And when I say nobody, I don't mean nobody. In a general sense, nobody really trusted this team or respected this team. And they answered the questions that were asked last year. Last year, I said, J-Dub needs to be a playmaker. I said, he needs a better playmaker. And J-Dub turned into that better playmaker and that better shot creator for this team this postseason and all season long. That's why they're here in the NBA Finals now. So it's crazy to think about that a 68 win team. Yo, that is crazy. I promise I never seen nothing like that before. I'm just sitting here trying to think, when have I seen a team win 60 plus games? I think the 2015 Atlanta Hawks, they weren't respected. They won 66 games, I think, right? 66. And nobody really respected them. We already know, like, hey, when they get to the playoffs and they face LeBron James and the Cavs, they're going to lose. We don't care if they have 4 All-Stars, 3 All-Stars, or 10 All-Stars. They're not getting past the Cavaliers. And I think people really start to compare that Atlanta team to this OKC team, forgetting that the Atlanta team did not have a MVP on their team, and the Oklahoma City Thunder do. So that's the really only team I could think about that people really didn't respect going into the postseason, and it seemed like they didn't really respect them in the postseason, and nobody really had high aspirations for that Atlanta Hawks team to make it to the NBA Finals. But after Oklahoma City Thunder put belt to butt against the Denver Nuggets, beating the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic, in 7 games. In doing that, I mean, in blowout fashion, I was impressed. I said, okay, this team is the real deal. This team is the real deal. But they're not the Atlanta Hawks, guys, okay? They're not. I saw Jeff Teague say that his Hawks team can beat this Oklahoma City Thunder team. I don't think so. The matchups just don't favor that Atlanta Hawks team. This OKC team can go small. They can stretch. Chet, he can stretch the floor. They're great on defense, and they have an MVP. And they have another all-star on their squad who can really get downhill, get to the basket, can knock down the three, and just too many defensive weapons. I don't want to really examine that matchup, Atlanta Hawks versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, this revisionist history we have with certain teams. And it gets me to this point. I know I'm supposed to talk about the NBA Finals, right? But I want to stick right here. I want to really, really stick right here. When it comes to this team, this Oklahoma City team, even the Indiana Pacers, when it comes to Tyrese Halliburton, SGA, I'm continuing to see discussions around, hey, is SGA better than Iverson? Is SGA better than James Harden? Is Tyrese Halliburton better than Steve Nash? All these conversations, can we just enjoy the moment, enjoy the basketball that we are witnessing now? We love to compare players that are still in their prime or just starting their prime to players who already finished their career career and their legacy is cemented. Can we just enjoy what SGA is doing? Can we enjoy what Tyrese Halliburton is doing, putting up 15 assists with no turnovers? And some of those passes that he make are dangerous passes. These aren't just, okay, a toss here, a toss there to Nembhard. These are difficult passes at times that Tyrese Halliburton is making. Zero turnovers. Can we just enjoy that? Now back to the NBA Finals. Like I said, both teams underdogs. In my opinion, Oklahoma City Thunder 68 win team that was considered not that great or good. They're underdogs. And this Indiana team, I mean, I had this Indiana team losing in the first round against the Bucks. I thought Giannis was good enough to get this team to get his team past the Indiana Pacers. I was proven wrong in 5 games. They got to the Cavs. Cavs a much better team. They're injured and they get past them. New York Knicks, much better team to me after seeing them just beat the Boston Celtics, and Jason Tatum was there for majority of the series. They won 2 games in Boston at TD Garden with Jason Tatum healthy, a all NBA caliber player, first team all NBA player, and they beat them 2 times at home. I'm like, okay, the New York Knicks are getting past the Pacers. They're getting past the Pacers. There's no way that this New York team doesn't get past the Pacers. They lose in 6 games. So this Indiana Pacer team has proven to be extremely good, well coached, just so organized on the court, and they can just speed you up. They can speed you up. Now, who I have winning this matchup, it's a difficult one. It really is. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. Okay. People are giving the Indiana Pacers 0% chance to win this NBA Finals matchup. They're facing Oklahoma City. And when I look at Oklahoma City, all the weapons that they have, the depth that they have, the MVP that they have, I look at them like, yes, this is a well-oiled machine. This is a great team, one of the best defensive teams that we have seen in the past. I want to say in the past 8 years. I still don't think this team is better than that 2016 Golden State Warriors team or 2017, in my opinion. But this is one of the best defenses we have seen in a while. And they're matching up against this high-powered offense. And this high-powered offense can put pressure on you on the defensive end. We saw what Andrew Nembhard did to Jalen Brunson. We saw Aaron Nesmith slow him down, even though Jalen Brunson gave Aaron Nesmith work. I mean, he did. But Jalen Brunson is a small guard. I look at SGA, 6'6". He can get to anywhere he wants on the court. And I believe if they put pressure on SGA, the same pressure that they applied to Jalen Brunson, this series won't be done in 5 games. It might be done in 6. OKC might can win in 6. But I believe that the Indiana Pacers will put that pressure, that same pressure that they put on Jalen Brunson. I mean, you can just look at small stuff that they were doing to Jalen Brunson, like after after the Indiana Pacers score, you can just look at the small things that they did to Jalen Brunson, like after and that. You can look at the small things. You can see the small things they did to Jalen Brunson. After the Pacers score, you see Andrew Nembhard give Jalen Brunson a bump and just frustrating him, picking him up 94 feet. I can see the same thing being applied to SGA, something I asked the Minnesota Timberwolves to do, what they did not do. They were bagging up, letting SGA get to his shot, putting no pressure on the ball at all, and just allowing him to operate in so much space. They made every single bucket for Jalen Brunson difficult. Now, am I saying Jalen Brunson is SGA? No. But if you make it difficult for SGA, I think it can be difficult for this OKC squad because they are not that great on the offensive end in the half court. They're great at getting out in transition. They get so many dunks. I mean, so many fast break layups, transition threes. They get to the free throw line, but in half court, they're not so great. So to be honest, I think this series, defense matters a ton because this Indiana Pacers team proved to me that they can play great defense. We know Oklahoma City can. It comes down to actually just who gets hot from 3. I know it's so simple, but who gets hot from 3? Can the Pacers keep up that high tempo offense, not allowing OKC to slow them down? If they do so, the Pacers can actually win this series. Tyrese Halliburton can control a game. He can slow a game down. He won't commit a ton of turnovers. And if he does, I will be surprised, but I don't think he will. You factor all of that in, I can see the Pacers winning as well, but OKC is the superior team, in my opinion, so they should win this series. I mean, in a 7-game series, the best team tends to usually win, right? But this will be a fun one. Tyrese Halliburton versus SGA, two underdogs. I just love the underdog story for SGA in Tyrese Halliburton because both guys, when you come into the league, Tyrese Halliburton wasn't expected to be a guy who can lead a franchise to an NBA Finals. Nobody thought that. If the Kings thought that, they would have never traded. Well, hold on. The Kings probably still would have traded Tyrese Halliburton. Let's be honest. They trade everyone. They are not good at handling talent or getting talent in Sacramento. They just got rid of Fox, Mr. Fox. Okay. And now you have DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine.
Gavin again.
Absolutely nowhere. And we know that. So yeah, even if it was the Kings, if the Kings knew that Tyrese Halliburton would be this star that he is now, they'll still trade him. However, nobody expected him to do what he's doing now. And also the slow start to the season. Everybody, I feel like Tyrese, okay, what you did last year was a fluke. Then we saw them pick it up in January. One of the best teams in the East in January. One of the best teams in the league since January. And now you're in an NBA Finals. And you're hitting game-winning shots in the playoffs in multiple rounds. That's amazing. That's a great underdog story. SGA, who's a MVP now, was once a Clipper. They traded him picks for Paul George. Nobody thought SGA would be an MVP. Now he's the MVP. He has a team. He just led a team to 68 wins, and he's the favorite to win an NBA championship and Finals MVP. That should be the story that's being told, not the story about, hey, is SGA better than this person or that person? Can we just enjoy the basketball that's going on right now? Can we just do that? So I have OKC in 6. They're the better team. They're not that much superior in my eyes than the Pacers, but they are better. They are better. And to conclude this video, I have OKC winning in 6. I won't be surprised if the Pacers can actually pull this series off and make this huge upset because that's how good the Pacers are with Siakam. I'm just curious how they'll guard Siakam with Chet, Jalen Williams. Like that matchup there would be a fun matchup to watch. Miles Turner stretching the floor. They haven't really played a big that can stretch like that. I know Nikola Jokic can stretch the floor, but he wasn't hitting his threes at a high clip this postseason. Miles Turner has been knocking down the three, and he's a good defender as well. So, man, this will be a good series. The Pacers can come out on top, but everything will come down to can OKC slow down the Pacers. And if they cannot, this will be a very, very difficult series to win. Until next time, guys. Love God, love people. Peace.